8754, State of Texas versus Aaron Jamal Moore. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Joe Garcia.
For the defense?
Catherine Valenzuela.
And are you Mr. Moore?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, I am.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Moore, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. You review that document with your attorney. Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand charge with by indictment is assault, family second offense? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is waiving the repeat enhancement allegation. 7, your punishment is to be assessed at 7 years in the prison. $1,500 fine, probated. State recommends community supervision. Taking consideration 2020 CR 8905. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. No contact with Treasure Barnes, Treasure, last name Barnes, and $100 to an approved family violence center. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 7 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense that's charged in indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea.
State offers State Exhibit 1 and all its attachments.
Any objections?
Your Honor, my client and I have no objections. We've reviewed.
No problem. Thank you. Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor, my client requested probation because he does realize he needs help. He specifically asked for that, and that's something that is rare, that people ask for help when they do need it. In addition, when I was conferring with the state, and it's not on the paperwork, we were also asking that there be a McMyoff evaluation, because my client has indicated that he does believe he has some mental health issues and he would like help.
All right, Mr. Moore, how old are you?
I'm 29.
All right, why do you keep hitting on people?
I'm starting to believe it's just because that's what I saw when I was young, you know?
All right, here's the thing. At some point, like I know people have rough childhoods, but at some point, it's no longer your childhood's fault. It's you and your choices you're making. So are you currently in a relationship?
No, I'm not. I've been single since I've been released. Right now, I'm just working and just trying to do the next best thing I can.
All right. What do you do for a living?
Right now, I'm working at Sterling's Foods. It's a bakery.
Okay. How far did you go in school?
I went all the way to the 12th grade, and then I had to get my GED. I had some disciplinary problems at that point too.
All right. So where are your parents?
My parents are both in Michigan. Both of my parents are struggling with their health. My mom was a drug addict for most of my life. She's been clean the past few years. And my dad his health deteriorated when he had a stroke and fell and hit his head. All
right. So do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am. I have 4.
What are their ages?
4, and 2 and 1.
And are these different mothers?
I have 3 by one and 1 by another.
Okay. Who is it? The 4 and the 4, are they twins?
And no, those are the 2 who have that's where the line was made.
All right. So where are your children? Are they in San Antonio or somewhere else?
They were in San Antonio when I got arrested. I'm not sure where they are at this point.
So is Child Protective Services involved?
No, ma'am. They weren't a part of it.
Well, I mean, sometimes children are a part of it in different ways when we don't think they're a part of it. Like maybe your child is not a part of it because nobody physically hit them. But you're saying you saw certain things in your childhood, and that's the reason you are the way you are. So the same way that your children may see things, and that may be the way they may become if you don't change. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
I can't force people not to be in relationships, but it seems to me as though you should not become involved in another relationship with anyone until you complete the work that you need to do on yourself. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I can't force people to stop having children, but it seems to me that until you finish and complete the work on yourself, just maybe, I tell people every day, children can't raise themselves. Like you're not in your children's life. And sometimes men, sometimes women, when they're not in and they're involved in their children's life, they're like, oh, well, the grandparents have it, or, oh, the other parent is taking care of it. But you're supposed to be taking care of it. Because guess what? Your 2 4-year-olds, your 2-year-old and the 1-year-old, you can't just put them at Travis Park and say, I have produced you, go forth and get your milk, diapers, or whatever, your Pampers, and go forth on your own. The 2 4-year-olds are not old enough to take care of the 2 and the 1-year-old. So now they're just out in the world and their father's not with them. So you're going to have to start changing your ways and do better. You understand?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative for everything. I haven't done any drugs since I've been released.
All right. What drugs did you do in the past?
Marijuana, ecstasy, and methamphetamine.
All right. I don't know why. Do young people not watch TV? Maybe they don't, but I'm sure everyone knows. I don't know why people get a certain age and they decide they want to try meth or heroin. People need to stop doing that because it leads to no good place. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 7 years in prison, suspended and probated for 7 years, $1,500 fine, probated, take in consideration 2021 CR 8905, affirmative finding of family violence, no contact with Treasure Barnes. Children with Treasure Barnes?
No, I do not.
So you shouldn't have any, there's no need to contact her. $100 to a family violence center, 120 hours, community service restitution. I'll deduct 40 hours if you obtain the COVID vaccine. I'm not forcing anyone to get it, but if you do obtain it and provide proof, 40 hours will be deducted. And I'll also deduct the remaining community service hours, Ms. Reyes, if he completes some sort of trade school or goes to some sort of higher level of education. We'll do a MIC evaluation, proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors, field visits, random, one time per month, regular Zoom reporting. Okay. All right. So we're going to do the BIPP course. Hopefully that will help you with your anger management, Mr. Moore.
Okay, thank you, Jan. I was just going to ask what exactly that was.
Oh, it's an intensive course to help you with any anger management issues you may have. Regular UAs, or you can do the patch. Rebecca, is there anything else Mr. Moore needs?
No, ma'am, that's it.
Mr. Moore, is there anything else you need from this court in order to be successful?
No, Your Honor, I think you just covered everything. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Moore, you can't have anger issues combined with drug issues and raise children, because the next thing you know, children is on the news because they've been abused, right? So
yes,
if you're going to do right, then do right. If you're going to be in the children's life, do right being in their lives, right? They don't need to see violence. They don't need to hear arguing or shouting. They don't need any of that, because believe it or not, that affects them, okay? And do you want to hear and did you hear my orchid speech? Oh,
no, Your Honor, I did.
Brenda, he did not hear the orchid speech. Okay, here's the orchid speech. For Boss's Day, I received an orchid. And I appreciate them because they know I love plants, but they gave me orchid, which is one of the most difficult plants. You have to be like a master gardener to make an orchid bloom. So when you get an orchid from the grocery store, it's like $12. So you can pick up one from Walmart or HEB or one of these stores for $12. It's all beautiful. It's in bloom. When you go to the store, you're trying to figure out, do I want the purple one? Do I want the white one, the blue one? Which one I want? Get an orchid. If once the blooms fall, which they will, upon the falling of the blooms, if you can make that orchid bloom again without buying a brand new orchid, grasshopper, then you will be ready for a relationship. A grasshopper is from Carradine. I know the young people don't know that. But so don't get into a relationship until you get an orchid, the blooms fall off, and the blooms come back. Because let me just tell you about an orchid. They give you all these instructions. You can't give it direct sunlight, but you got to give it enough sunlight. You can't overwater it, but you got to give it enough water. Don't move it around a lot. So all of this, orchids require tenderness. They require you to show love. Sometimes you have to talk to it. It still doesn't help. So once you're able to do that, then that means you have patience and you're ready for a relationship. Understand?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Allie Jackson.
Defense? For the defense?
Catherine Valenzuela.
Are you Mr. Moore?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Aaron Jamal Moore who was placed on community supervision in 2021 CR 8754 for the offense of assault, family second offense on October 26, 2021 for a term of 7 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Your Honor, we're proceeding on violation of condition number 2, that on or about the 24th day of November 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Aaron Jamal Moore, did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer or supervision officer and or duly recognized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
That's true.
All right. Off the record for a moment. Defense, if y'all move down to that end. All right, we're back on the record. State?
And we would waive the others.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 7 years in prison and up to a $1,500 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is a proposed agreement, Your Honor. The proposed agreement is that we alter and amend for a mental health evaluation and TAP in custody. According to the notes from his probation officer, when he last appeared back in 2022, he was talking about he was feeling that he was going to relapse, and it seems that that's what he did. He absconded and relapsed, Your Honor. That's why they're recommending that we do the mental evaluation and tap while in custody.
All right. Are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Moore, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes.
Defense, anything you wish to add to the record?
Yes, Your Honor. Just for further clarification, Mr. Moore, we have discussed that he does indicate that he did indicate to probation that he did have mental health concerns. He was very troubled about, well, especially his grandmother being ill. She passed away last year, 2023, and he was picked up and has been held in custody since July
2nd.
Of 2023. So he's been in custody this whole time. So he hasn't.
Well, you're not saying July of 2020, correct?
Correct, Your Honor. So yes.
24.
You're right. I know.
Okay.
Yeah, there's.
July of 2023, Your Honor.
We're not, but I mean, it just.
He's been in other jurisdictions.
He's been in other jurisdictions. Yeah, so it's not, we're arguing the length of the time, not that there was time that.
All right, so when you say he's been in other jurisdictions, is that for other cases?
I believe so, yeah.
They're not alleged in ours. I haven't received any evidence about them.
All right, what are these other cases? And the reason why I'm asking is because depending on what the recommendations of the TAP evaluation will be and what the recommendations with regards to mental health will be, if he has outstanding cases in other counties, they're not going to accept him.
No, I believe he has disposed of all those cases.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
And they were old cases prior to the pendency of this case, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and when we say he's disposed of those cases, are we taking Mr. Moore's word that he has disposed of those cases, or do we independently know? And Mr. Moore, I want you to let you know, I'm not saying that you're being dishonest, but sometimes what the accused think of as disposed, sometimes it's not really disposed of. So does anybody know?
No, but he was brought over while in custody. I mean, so he transferred from their possession to San Antonio's possession, I would believe. Typically that they don't bring them over if it's okay.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, say no. Sometimes we ask for them or other things.
All right, probation, what is your recommendation?
Judge, according to the court summary, it is what has been discussed, and then for mental health evaluation and taxing to follow all recommendations.
What is TAP?
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court will deny the motion, alternate amend conditions to include a mental health evaluation and TAP evaluation. That is to be in custody. He's not to be released until the mental health and TAP evaluation are completed, and to follow all TAP recommendations. So if TAP evaluation recommends that you're to be in inpatient treatment, you're going to be in inpatient treatment. Do you understand?
Yes. Could you expound on like specifics of inpatient? I'm a little bit.
Oh, so if you have a drug or alcohol problem and they deem that the only way to help you is to place you in an inpatient facility, similar to the Betty Ford Clinic. Have you ever heard of the Betty Ford Clinic? All right. Wow. It's the Bexar County version, right? So if they deem that you need inpatient care to address mental health issues, to address any drug issues, then you're going to go from the Bexar County Jail to whatever inpatient treatment they recommend. Okay. If your attorney feels as though inpatient treatment is not appropriate, she can always come back and the court will hear it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's yes.
Yes, you do.
All right. We can go off the record. In this court, communication is key. I do appreciate the fact that you picked up the phone, that you called your probation officer and said that you thought you were going to use or that you were having issues. That's a good thing that you did that. Next time when you pick up the phone, well, I know there won't be a next time, but if you pick up the phone and call them and you have an issue and nobody gets back with you, come to court and we'll address it. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
Nothing
So,
for there.
so will I have another court date?
No, not unless your attorney requests it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So
this case has concluded as far as the allegations that you violated your probation.
Okay.
The only way you'll have another court case with me is if you pick up another motion to revoke.
Okay. So at this time, I'm just waiting for an evaluation.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
And the probation officer will be able to tell you when your TAP evaluation may take place.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
And Judge, she's already had a court case needs to occur.
Yes.
And we understand that.
Yes. And then you have a county court at law case to take care of. Here's the thing. Any cases that you have pending and are open, if you're recommended for inpatient treatment is not going to transfer you to inpatient treatment as long as you have cases that are open. So you have a misdemeanor case, the DWI case.
Mm-hmm.
If that is not taken care of, they're not going to transfer you.
So I'll be in limbo until I get that done.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
When,
All right. You're welcome.
thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else ready?